Welcome back to Under Oath. James, I get caught up in stuff.
You get caught?
Yeah.
In what?
Like in loops. Like when something's haunting me, I have to talk about it.
Something's on your mind right now?
Yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Come on, man. I love Keanu. I love Keanu.
Do we love Keanu because he's likable?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, there are certain people that I see and I just like them because they're likable. Just like, they don't have to be the best actor. They don't have to be the best singer. I just like them because they're likable.
Somehow he's gotten into roles.
Bro.
That where he does no acting. And we love him.
We love him.
We love him.
We love him.
I mean, the whole John Wick thing.
Come on.
That first movie, I think there were 18 words.
Yes.
Jonathan, Winston.
Yeah.
Are you back? I think I am. I mean, I dare you to find 29 words.
But first off, let me just say that to
different words.
Let me say this to that scene you just did. Brilliant.
Yes.
It works.
Wipe us? Yeah. I'm like,
yes.
I mean, I think that one, and then I'm going, okay, what are my other favorite Keanu Reeves movies? And I realize my favorite movies are the dumbest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, things that Jim Carrey goes, I couldn't do that. It's embarrassing. I mean, the
That's
Replacements.
over the top.
The Replacements is a good example.
Wait, first off, we're going to put some respect on that movie's name. That is a great movie.
Shane is wearing like this. He's getting beat up a lot, so he's wearing this, using this Japanese wild yam stuff.
Yeah.
And his partner, the big linemen, put their hands around him, and they're going, "What's that smell, Shane?" And he goes, "Wild yam." He goes, "That's nice."
That's nice. And one of them is Phase on Love.
I'm haunted by... That's nice. I mean, it's so still wild yam.
That's nice.
That's nice. And I mean, so many different ones. I mean, I tried to watch. Oh, okay. I'm embarrassed to say it. I tried to watch Bill and Ted's the other day.
I love Bill and Ted.
The only part of Bill and Ted's I can watch is the finale when they do the book report.
Okay,
that's the best.
At the
part.
very end of
that's the best part of it. And I realize as a kid and being young, I'm dumb as dirt.
Yes, we are.
That was such a dumb movie, and we could watch these things over. But I can see the Replacements 50 times.
But it worked. That movie worked. One of the best running gags in all the Bill and Ted movies is the mother-in-law who goes from husband to husband. She's like a grade ahead of them.
Yeah. An Oedipus complex.
Yes.
They bring Freud back into time to do the report, and he's doing
he's showing it, yeah.
He's going, "So you have an Oedipus complex for your mother." And everyone's going, "What does that mean?" And when I was 16, I didn't know what an Oedipus complex was.
You know now.
I do now.
You know now.
You want to sleep with your mom?
That's it.
All right, what do we got?
I got a great one. This week on Legally Screwed. This is going to sound crazy. Here's the title.
Tell me something I don't know.
My honeybee hive fell over and someone took all my bees.
Bees nest or bees?
Bees.
Bees.
Here's a good one, man. Location is Oregon this week. Hey, Oregon.
Of course.
Of course it is.
Of course.
Now,
you know, weird stuff. Florida, we get weird crimes.
We do.
You guys, weird stuff happens to your animals in Oregon.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true, man.
Non-gator animals.
Non-gator animals.
Oregon.
Which is different. That's all we have is gators here. Gators and dogs. That's it. Now, while
and one takes care of the other, right?
That's correct. Now, while I was out of town, my beehive was knocked over, likely vandalized, and someone took off with my entire swarm. Even after neighbors told her they were mine. She said, finders, keepers, which is a legal term, blocked me when I reached out.
Hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's not legal?
No.
That's not a statute?
No, possession is 9/10 of law. Shut up. What law?
Your Honor, I would like to bring up
I'd like
finders,
to bring
keepers.
up the finders keepers law. I say. The two youths.
The two youths, yes.
Right.
Now, I tried to reach out. She blocked him, and now...
I reached out and she blocked me.
She blocked you.
On
and
Facebook. How dare they?
I filed a police report, and because bees...
Can you imagine the cops?
Bees
ma'am,
are...
could you describe what was stolen?
Actually, he says bees in Oregon, when you take them, is a felony.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, I do know one thing.
Okay.
I am not up on my bee law.
Okay.
I can honestly say
all right.
There are a lot of things I'm an expert in. Bee law, not one of them.
Not one of them. Understood.
But I do know this. Anything valued over a certain amount can be considered a felony.
Now, what's that amount, though?
Okay. Well, I do know in Oregon, anything over $1,000 is considered, I believe, a C felony, which is one of their lowest felony.
Okay.
And then if it's over 10,000, it's a B felony. And I guess you know what A is. When you that good at something, you get an A. See, in Florida, we just call them felonies.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't like rate them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Hercules, you got an A.
There you go. There you
A
go.
is, man, you going to prison.
Yeah, I was going to say. A's not for Apple.
A is not good.
No.
You know what? I'm a high achiever.
Yeah, you
No.
go. Yeah.
Why do states do that?
What do you
This
mean?
is an A felony. We have a first degree felony, a second degree felony, third degree.
Yeah.
But when you give them letters,
That's funny.
people are going, well, a C sounds worse than an A. No.
No, it's not.
No.
No, it's not.
It's like flipping a stop sign on me.
There you go.
Is it? I think it still says stop. Or the lights, green means stop. No, it means
no,
go.
it does not. It means go.
No, yellow means go very fast.
Now, I just learned something today because of you, sir. You taught me that there's a certain thing of felony and aggravated felony.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
aggravated. Again, it's easy. Aggravated does sound worse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's aggravating.
That's correct.
It's an aggravating felony.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not going to be a nice one.
It's not a good one.
No.
I'm aggravated by this felony. Yes. Yeah, aggravated normally means more. For example, like battery. When you hear battery, that's a harmful or offensive touching. It could be a punch. It could be I poke you with a finger.
I felt
I could
threatened.
actually throw
Gotcha.
a Coke at you.
That is aggravated, correct?
Yes. Well, it depends on if it's a full Coke. If I throw a 6-pack at you and it crushes your head, that's aggravated.
Got it.
If I throw an empty can at you, it's probably a regular misdemeanor.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So aggravated means worse.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we go. Okay, we got the new rule. In Oregon, stealing a beehive is now treated similarly to stealing other commercially farmed animals like cows, with a hefty fine of $10,000 for offenders. I love we call them offenders.
Yeah, offenders.
It's offensive.
not criminal.
They're offenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather they just say
Hey, offenders assemble.
offenders assemble. Yes,
There you go.
I guess because there's a lot of beehive stuff.
In Oregon, that's because people.
So some dude goes finders keepers.
I love that.
And how do you steal a beehive?
I was going to ask you.
I'm guessing because I watch a lot of TikTok.
Uh-huh.
It's embarrassing to say a lawyer goes, I watch a lot of TikTok,
Yeah,
so this is what I think.
I-
I think it's something to do with how you can get the queen and you capture the queen and you stick them in a little thing and they'll all follow the queen.
Gotcha. So the person who stole this knew what they were doing.
Yes.
They knew.
You need to take the queen to get
Yes.
everything, I think.
Yes.
You can't just steal a bunch of regular bees.
Gotcha.
Because they'll follow, and I have enough problems with one bee.
Thank you.
One bee screws with me.
Mm-mm.
I can't imagine, I tipped it over by accident and took all the bees with me.
No.
What'd you have, like a backpack? Hey, just got them in there?
Backpack.
No,
backpack.
F that.
No.
No, you have to have specialized stuff.
You do. So she came clearly prepared.
Yes.
Knew what she was doing.
This sounds like a little plan was involved.
Yeah.
Premeditated
Premeditated, if you will. Yeah.
bee stealing.
There you go. That's the worst kind of bee stealing.
I'm not big on this. I like honey though.
I
know
love honey.
Now honey's in everything.
It sure is.
It's in your skincare. It's in everything. Is honey that good for you?
I'm going to say yes because it tastes good.
Is this like cardboard when they said you have to have enough? It was
Cardboard.
Yeah, cardboard. We call it. What was the cereal that everyone ate? And they said, "Oh, this is so good for you." And they found out it has the same
The
benefits.
fiber you were eating? You mean like the oat stuff?
Yeah. They found out it just was the same.
The same, but it just
as
sounded good.
Cardboard.
They started naming cereals after fiber too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust that.
I don't trust that either.
I was talking about RFK today.
Uh-huh.
Our boy.
I do know you.
When I say our boy, I said it means I know them. I don't mean like, hey, him and I are like, hey.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
RFK says something every once in a while and you go, is that right?
Once in a while.
Every once in a while he says something and we go, is that right? Like when he talks about, cereals in the U.S., the same cereal in Europe will have 7 ingredients and in the U.S. it has 64. Is that real?
Yes, yes, that is absolute. Because in Europe they have stricter food.
They're like,
codes.
Please don't kill us.
Yeah, please don't kill our people. And in America, we're like, hey man, it tastes good. It can't be bad for you.
All right, Robert, I'm gonna hook you up.
Hook him up, brother.
My boy Robert F. Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
I like you. I do. You've probably gone through a lot with your life with all your relatives getting shot all the time.
Oh, wow.
That's the truth. You go, hey, I love this guy. He's the president. Not the president anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the senator. Hey, he's not the senator anymore. And everywhere you turn, this one died in a plane. Kennedy, having that last name Kennedy just means weird crap's going to happen.
I will
to
say
you.
a lot of weird stuff has happened to
you
that
get into a
family.
good private school, but
Yes.
the odds of making it are slim. Or you wind up married to a Schwarzenegger. Stuff like that happens. But here's the thing. He's got this thing going on.
What thing?
he's got this voice thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not quite sure what it is, and nobody tells us.
Mm-mm.
But here's the thing. If you really want to sell something, Robert, say the reason you got this way is because you ate cereal here for a long time.
That's why he acts that way. Because he had the 64 ingredients.
Those 64 ingredients cause this problem.
They're magically delicious.
I wouldn't eat cereal again.
I wouldn't either.
Thinking, what happened? The beef got me. The beef?
I would stop eating. Ooh, you could get James to stop
Oregon
eating
beef? I ain't doing that no more.
If you said bacon, James would stop eating it.
Yeah. I'd go, wait a minute. Oh, what can I give away? And I want you to know something. I like good spicy chicken sandwiches.
I know you do.
Like Nashville's or Dave's.
We both have an affinity
chicken
for that.
fire.
Yes.
You put the word fire in your chicken, I'm eating it.
I'm eating it.
I'll pay for it later, but I'm eating it right now.
I'm eating it right now.
But if you told me, if RFK said, listen, I used to eat a lot of that. Okay.
Oh, I'm done. I'm out.
And that sounds like a mean joke, but
no.
I mean, come on. You talk about
it would be like the Shark Tank, and for that reason, I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. It'd be like the Survivor where you put the thing.
Yeah, the tribe has spoken.
But I like what you're doing out there, Robert. I like that you're out there telling us, don't do this, don't do this. And I don't want to hear people start talking about shots and stuff. I'm not getting into that.
Yeah.
I'm getting into just health codes across
health
the thing.
stuff.
Just health stuff across the board. I don't want to hear about the coronavirus and crap like that. But if you're going to tell me my cereal is different in France than it is here, and it tastes the same.
Why am I getting this first?
Why does my Cookie Crisp taste different?
It is correct.
You know what we should do? Hey, if you're a fan out there and you like the show, send me a European cereal.
Yes.
That's named the same, like Raisin Bran or something. And we will
taste
test it.
Yes, we will. And I bet it'll taste better.
But the sad thing is I can imagine eating the American one and all of them. I go, I don't want to do,
We never tasted all natural ingredients.
No.
We don't know what that is.
I don't know. If it tastes good, let's take a shot. So if you're there and you have some Fruity Pebbles or something else from like Spain or something.
Send it to us.
We will taste test that.
We will.
You know what? I think on the next show we'll order some. Can
Can
we order?
Yeah. Bro,
can we do that?
You can order anything on Amazon.
Yeah, but how do I know it's the real stuff?
We'll find out. Someone will let us know how to do it.
All right. Hopefully before the next show, we are going to test drive European cereals that have the exact same names and made by the same companies.
Different ingredients.
Oh, we're gonna figure this out.
We're gonna Papa John's it.
Bum bum. Some Law and Order.
Boom boom.
Bum bum. See, the good thing about it is I never do it right, so you can't sue me.
Don't steal my bees.
We might be back in a few, barring Law and Order suing us over the bump bump.
True.
Two attorneys arguing. Got my partner Craig on one side. Personal responsibility. Let's talk about that.
Big fan.
I had, over the Labor Day weekend, I was in my sister's log cabin in western North Carolina. Log meaning wood. I had my socks on. I took the first step at the top of the stairs and proceeded to surf down the rest of the stairs.
Well, you big dummy.
Socks on wood.
Did you have your hand on the handrail? You didn't have your hand on the handrail,
That's the first step.
You didn't have your hand on the handrail.
Didn't have the chance.
Your fault.
Didn't have the chance. But the point is this. As I was laying at the bottom of the stairs, I was thinking what I do for a living. I'm going, I sue people for this stuff.
Yes, you do.
That people get hurt in people's houses. Obviously, the floor was way too waxed or something else like that. There was no friction, anything else like that. It probably could be a place to put those strips where you're not going to bust your ass going down the stairs. And I go, that's my sister. I feel good. I feel bad. But then again, I'm going, well, should I have known I shouldn't have worn socks in this house? Should I just been barefoot or wore my high tops no matter?
Wooden stairs?
Wooden stairs, yes.
Yeah, I would think that you would have to know that the wooden stairs would be a little more slippery than carpet stairs.
Maybe, unless you're not used to being on wooden stairs a lot, which I am not.
Yeah.
I live in Florida. We don't do a lot of wood here. But the point is, I started thinking about responsibility and things that are important and not important. And what
on
we
the
take
way down the stairs or just at the bottom?
Over the last 3 days.
Okay.
And I realized when the pain kicked in 2 days later, and I remember every attorney going, you weren't in pain at the time of the accident. You're never in pain at the time of the accident unless something got cut off.
Yeah.
The fact is 2 days later, everything hurts.
Yeah.
My back hurts. My arm hurts. I got bruises in places
Wait a minute.
I didn't know.
You mean to tell me you didn't immediately report to the emergency room? Well, then you're obviously faking everything.
Yeah.
Who
That's the scam that the defense attorneys use because they know that DNA is the way it is. And it has always been that way. For example, if we got bit by a dinosaur, we would be able to limp off and the pain would kick in later. That's just the adrenaline saving our lives. The fight or flight that allows us to survive in a lot of different circumstances. But it's a good thing to argue about. Now, there was a lawsuit. 19-year-old kid blames the food companies for his diabetes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I haven't heard the whole case, so.
No.
Let me hear it.
He sued Kraft, a company called Mondelez, and Coca-Cola for his diabetes. And it was just dismissed because he could not prove that that was the cause of his issues.
What lawyer took that?
There are lawyers
Was he representing himself?
No, class action. Just trying to create a class action.
Wow.
For those who don't know, you need 9 or more people for a class action, but let's keep going. So what happens is one person is it, and everyone jumps in. And then that's why you get all these.
So some attorney was hoping for the payday of, of his lifetime. I could sue Coca-Cola for causing diabetes to millions of people.
Now, I will say something. I know that the food companies have screwed with us. And they've been burned for it, for using certain pesticides, for changing certain issues. And when they find out that it's bad for you, like talcum powder was found out that it affects women's hoo-has and it causes ovarian cancer. And they had to, 50 years later, we discovered it. I mean, asbestos, there are a couple things we discovered later on that aren't good for us. I mean, we might find out that these COVID shots, in about 10 years from now, it might put Johnson & Johnson and all these companies out.
Did you just say we might find out?
We might.
I think we've already found out.
They do not have enough proof for it to be this monster class action. And I promise you this, we're going to see it. We will see the monster class action eventually. But nobody thought of it at the time. Now, we did change corn syrup. Corn syrup has now become basically part of our diets. And 30 years ago, it wasn't. And we know it negatively affects us. And we know it artificially bumps up our problems. So what if this kid's right? We very rarely discover something's bad for us until we're harmed by it. And normally in Europe, they figure it out before we do. And I'm not quite sure how the Europeans, do they have better medicine than us? Do they have better doctors, better scientists?
They aren't. The people who make the decisions over there probably aren't as corrupt. They probably, when you put somebody in charge of safety in Europe, it seems they actually take that job pretty seriously.
I think they do.
Over here, they take it as seriously as the highest bidder.
Money, money, money. Yeah. But here's the thing. Gel nail polish lasts longer, dries faster, dries harder. It can cause sterility and infertility. In Europe, they're going, nope. There's a chemical in it, and most of them called TPO. Avoid this like the plague because they look great until you can't have kids. Would you ever think that nail polish would screw with fertility?
Never.
It's a $1 billion market, and it looks good in comparison to regular nail polish.
So they're going to start putting warning labels on cosmetics now.
Some do.
Do they already?
Some do. And then they pull them off the market and then they change it because nobody's going to buy something that says might kill you other than cigarettes. I mean, people still buy cigarettes.
Yeah. Well,
which moron, and here, look at me in the face. Here this is. You are an absolute moron if you smoke. And you may be offended by what I say, but you know it's going to kill you. And it's not like, well, you eat fat food. I don't know if my pork chop's going to kill me tomorrow and what kind of cancer it will cause. But yours is going to cause emphysema and lung cancer. Case closed. It's on the packet. Might kill you. And you know why you smoke it? Because they intentionally addicted you. The brands that they are serving you aren't just tobacco leaves. These brands everything has been put together to attach to your body so that you need this stuff. So even if you put the word cancer on it.
Chemical engineers to figure out how to make this stuff as addictive as they possibly can.
And it's trademarked. It's patented. And you know what they're buying now? They're buying weed.
Are they?
The big companies the big tobacco companies are buying the rights to specific brands of weed.
Oh, you mean my Purple Crush might be owned by Marlboro?
Yep.
Marlboro's Purple Crush.
Yes. And that's what
No kidding.
It's all about cash. Mm-hmm. So even when we put it might kill you, you're going to use it. So I'm telling you right now, if they use this thing that's in most of these brands, you are screwing with yourself solely to go, oh, my nails look better today. So I've tried to tell as many people as possible.
We should probably have a lady on here telling us what the benefits of that particular nail polish is. I can tell you what it is. I date over the other nail polish.
Oh, it's lasts longer. It looks better and it dries faster.
You seem to know an awful lot about this
I
nail
do.
polish, Jeff.
I'm very aware of women in this world. You think I haven't sat there and waited for somebody to get done with their stuff?
Do you watch your lady put her nail polish on?
No, she doesn't do it. She does it. The machine does it.
Oh.
It's a UV light that hardens it. Now, are you going to tell me that your wife hasn't said to you, "Do you like this color, Craig?"
Oh yeah, she usually gets the French manicure, which I like.
Oh, see, and you even know it's called a French manicure,
Yes,
and you're lecturing me.
It's my favorite. Yeah.
Yes. Why do you do that? Why do you pretend?
Because it's fun.
It's not fun because you think I will call you out on it.
It's fun to pick on you, especially if I do the same stuff and you don't know it.
But I do know it.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I do know who you're with.
Then it sounds
Greg,
fun.
is this a color? Does this match it? I look over and go, I don't care. Just don't get the weird colors.
No, you got to care. I mean, it makes a big difference.
I don't like white.
Yeah,
I don't like white or black. I don't mind white tips.
Yeah, well, the French manicure
but I don't like the
pink
whole
with
white
tip.
because the white makes a hand look like a corpse.
Yeah, it wouldn't
and
go
the black
all
makes
white.
you look a vampire.
It wouldn't go all white, but if it's pink with white tips, that looks good. Ladies, trust me, French manicure is the way to go.
Pink with
with white
what about
tips,
the vampire ones? You know, the ones where the sharpen it?
It's sharp. Yeah, don't
scary.
do that. Yeah,
I don't need that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm threatened by that.
I'm not threatened, but it just looks like.
Come on, they think that
It looks like you're gonna.
Come on, how many movies have you seen? No.
Yeah,
I know better.
Not going to go through you.
I don't go into the basement. I don't do this. I don't go into the water. I avoid everything where somebody I saw in a movie got killed.
Well, that's everywhere.
I know. But these nails, and what do they call them? They call them vampire nails?
I don't no idea what they call the sharp nails.
And I don't know.
I've seen them.
And any man who goes, "Oh, I like those." He's one of those.
One of those what?
He likes to get beaten.
He likes to get beaten.
He needs a dungeon. Yeah.
Oh, he's the gimp?
He's got a collar.
He's the gimp?
Yeah. Yeah. No dude looks over and goes, "Ooh, those work for me." No. I don't even like screwing around with that.
I could have swore Melissa had a pair of them sharp nails the other day. Didn't I see her wearing them? Once?
I said,
did you forbid them?
I forbid.
Oh, so you got that kind of control over your lady,
how you forbid?
How
you just go, I think they look ugly. We don't have to tell you no. We just have to go, those are some ugly nails.
See, Jeff, the wisdom's coming out. There you go. You don't say, no, you can't wear them. You go, oh, are those the,
those are the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
so every time you come in and ask me what I think, I'll just go, those are ugly nails.
Those are ugly.
Yeah. If your man thinks something is ugly, you ain't going to do it. Unless another man you're interested in likes it. But the whole point of it, and all those are, and most of them are gel. Most of them are gel. And that's why the UV light and everything else, and it can cause a lot of worse things than that. I guarantee in the next year, we're going to discover all the stuff this thing causes. UV light ain't good for you anyway. I mean, how many people go, you know that UV light is real good for you? No.
Isn't that what they do in the suntan booth? When you go sign up for those?
Yes.
Isn't that UV?
Yes, that's why we use spray tans. You don't do UV.
No, of course not.
This
is actual tan. This is sun tan.
Well, that's
the old-fashioned
your Labor
tan.
Day.
Yeah.
I've seen you
This is
orange
the old-fashioned
before.
tan.
I've seen you rocking the Trump.
The Trump orange?
The Trump orange. What color you like? I'd like Trump orange, please.
The Trump orange. Yeah.
See, I'm just trying to figure this out. You have access to like the best people in the world who do colors. And that's the color you choose? Our president could have such better color.
I think he's toned it down.
He could have such
his hair.
He's rich.
Hold on. Yeah.
You're a billionaire.
Yeah, you would think that he would have started
He can own his own color.
Where he is now, it's actually decent. The way he started was pretty bad. And you would think somebody would have said, maybe that's the thing.
Maybe they won't.
But yeah, you get surrounded by people who won't tell you the truth sometimes.
Don just hired. I'll be your personal consultant.
Yeah.
And I'll keep it in the down low.
Yeah,
I'll keep it on the down low. No. Great looking tie, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the man's got good ties.
He does have good ties.
Ooh.
Nobody makes better ties.
You can say what you want about the president. I don't like his policies. Good looking ties.
Those are his ties. Have you? Well, I don't know if you can admit it, but I can. I have some of his ties.
You have a Trump tie?
I do. Not that he wore. No.
What company makes Trump ties? Is it Trump tie?
Trump tie, yeah.
So on the back, it has like his head?
Yeah, I'll show it to you next time. No, it doesn't have his head.
Well,
it's not like money.
Come on.
But it does say Donald J. Trump on it, yeah.
I'd have my head on something. If I had money, they go, what's that? That's Jeff's head.
Ties can't be beat, though.
Yeah.
They're perfect. You know, the perfect kind of silk that ties.
The thing that cuts me up is the accessories. So you got his ties, his shoes. I guarantee his shoes are probably made in England. They're the king of shoes.
I don't know what kind of shoes they wear.
Cobblers. You go in and they have your shoe. They make an imprint to your shoe and they fit the shoe and they design the shoe. If I was him, that's what I would.
You think he has custom shoes?
I bet he does.
Yeah, but I knew he wasn't going to go way overboard on the watch.
Patek Philippe is a watch he wears a lot.
60 grand. That's what he pays for his watch.
Well, I guarantee they were all limited, so they're probably 100, 200.
Yeah, well, my point is, it's not a $3 million watch like some Saudi.
Well, there are
prince
guys
would
who
wear.
go buy the stupid watches.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that go, oh, this is art. And I'm looking at them going, it's going to be out of business in 10 years.
I don't wear a watch, and I'll tell you why. Once you put the watch on, it's basically a bracelet. It's jewelry, okay? And then once you put the bracelet, that's called a watch on, well, then you got to wear a bracelet either next to it or on the other thing. And then now you got jewelry. And it's not too far away from having pinky rings and rings on your other fingers. And before you know it, you got the Italian horn on a necklace and a cross and 8 other things that you're wearing there. And that's not
cologne.
too far away.
Then you got to buy cologne.
Yeah, you're not too far away from a belly piercing, get your eyebrow pierced. Like, it's just a whole...
So watch is a gateway drug?
Yes, it's a gateway.
A gateway drug?
It's a gateway to all of this jewelry.
To a Prince Albert.
That's
what you're talking about?
That's where it ends.
It's a gateway drug to a Prince Albert.
That's where it ends. The start
don't
of
look that up,
road
people.
is a tag watch, and the end of it is a Prince Albert.
Yeah.
And it's just a road I don't want to go on, so I don't wear any jewelry.
Do you know how many people are going to look up Prince Albert and be horrified? They're going to be horrified.
Do that on the safe version.
Could you imagine the negativity we're going to get when people actually Google the word? Like if I said right now, Alexa, what is a Prince Albert? Now, what I just did to you right now is your devices just looked this up for you.
That's in your search history.
And we
You're
might
welcome.
not be back in a while. Today we have writer, producer, and actor Adam Nimoy. Adam, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jeff.
You have, whether you like it or not, you do have the IMDb page. So, you know, I know the other stuff is more important, but we don't forget about your big Emmy-winning performance on The Big Bang.
Well, that's a one-time walk-on. I wouldn't consider myself an actor, Jeff, but I appreciate it. I enjoyed the experience on that show.
Now, I did watch your documentary about your father a couple years ago, and it stuck with me. And I watch a lot of documentaries, but this one, you know, it was tough because as a son, you're creating that documentary and you're putting this out there. How tough was it for you to do and to convince your father to be part of?
Well, he didn't take any need to convince. He was in the minute I suggested the idea. I mean, the documentary really I conceived of as a way to celebrate 50 years of Star Trek. We were coming up on the 50th anniversary at that point. This was in 2014. And I just thought it would be a great way for us to collaborate. We had made a short documentary film about his life in Boston, entitled Leonard Nimoy's Boston, appropriately. And we, you know, it was such a great bonding experience, and we had so much fun doing that. I thought we should just collaborate again on the Spock doc. And he was doing all the research on it. He was like Googling Spock's ears and stuff. And he got a kick out of all the, you know, the hundreds of thousands of references to Spock's ears. And he was really in on it. You know, this is going to be a really good project for us. But then suddenly in February of 2015, my dad passed away. And so I just felt like I needed to continue on with the project.
You know, I'm a junior, you know, so my dad was larger than life, not like internationally larger than life, but in the city I lived in, I would say my name and they go, oh, you know, there's another Jeff Kaufman. And it was always so difficult for me. And I had to move away. I had to go try to find my own identity and hunt this down. You can't move away.
You can run, but you can't hide. Spock is everywhere.
I mean, I can't imagine you went to law school. You go, okay, now I'm a lawyer. I'm going to be a producer. I'm going to be all these other things. You know, there has to be a time, and I suffered this too, where I was going, you know, listen, I'm my own person. You know, I know my father was this person, but I'm also this person. You know, what advice would you give to somebody who's been in a situation like yours to go, okay, to become your own person, to be able to figure out whether to accept this or hide from it or run from it, or is it just personal choice?
Well, I mean, it's different in every situation. In my case, I was really following my dad's credo by trying to find something I felt passionate about. You know, I really wanted to go to college and go into law school and pursue a legal career. I just thought that made sense for me. I also was, you know, I was motivated by the fact that it was something that Leonard Nimoy could not and did not do because my dad could do anything. So there was, I was trying to create my own identity by going in that route. But, the weird thing was that after 7 years of practicing law, it became pretty clear to me that I wasn't passionate about it. That's my dad's whole watchword is you got to feel the passion about what you do. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. And I really felt that. I was just, in a slump. And it came to the point where I just wanted to do what my dad did, which was storytelling, which was why I transitioned into directing. I was, with his help, I was lucky. I had the expertise that he had that I tapped into. He helped educate me and gave me some connections. I started observing on Star Trek: The Next Generation about what directing was all about. I was lucky I had my wife, the artist, graphic designer, illustrator, who was making a living for us, and I had the luxury of being able to transition. So, yes, it started off where I just wanted to do anything that my dad could not do, but then in the end, I just wanted to be like him in some small way, and I really felt that, and I still feel it now. Storytelling was really something that I felt very passionate about and felt good about, even though I was never going to be able to equal him or challenge him or compete with him. That was never a part of the equation.
What I love about this is when I found out I was getting an opportunity to interview you, and I got it. It was funny because I got to interview Shatner last week, it was so funny. And I'm going, that this would come up a week later. What hit me the most is that I write comic books too.
Recording stopped.
And I wrote this comic book concerning my about a father and son, and didn't realize it was all about my father, and I wrote it by accident. And the emotional effect it had on me, and now you just wrote, you have your book, The Most Human, about your dad. When you finished it, were you like going, God, I didn't believe I did that? Or did you know all the way through, these are the feelings you had?
Well, look, Jeff, I've been a writer all my life. I'm just not well published. So I love the craft of writing. Whether or not the decision to write the book was the initial threshold. I wasn't sure I wanted to share all that information. But the fact is, I'm in recovery, and I've been in recovery for 21 years, and I go to meetings and I share a lot of this stuff anonymously. Not, people don't know I'm related to Leonard Nimoy, and that the dynamics of our relationship are about me and Mr. Spock. They don't know. They don't need to know. The book is a celebration about the fact that even though we had trouble in our relationship, through recovery, we were able to reconnect with one another. That is my experience strengthened up. I was sharing that, and it was resonating with people. So it was, and I talked a little bit about that in the documentary, a little bit about the problems in our relationship and how we managed to reconcile with one another. Well, I just felt like, I should just do the deep dive and really get into the details of how it all worked for us, hoping that it might resonate with other people who are picking up the book. So, that's how the decision was made to really just go out there with it. The issue is, how much do you tell about these difficulties? Because it's not a tell-all. It's not mommy dearest. I'm not going through a laundry list of my issues with my dad. I have to be very careful. And for that, I had to hire an editor to tell me, this is enough. You don't need this, or you need to explore more in this area than what I had there already.
Now, that's a hard thing, because this is a secondary body coming in and telling you, hey, listen, I don't think this is important. And I've had to fight with editors too, going, no, this is important. I think this was important to me, and I think it's important to people in recovery, and I think it's important there. Were there any fights over it, or was it pretty easy to go, okay, we'll take that up?
Recording in progress.
No, there were, look, I was working with a woman who had been in the publishing industry for many years, a very good editor, and I deferred to her quite a bit. There were some things, stylistic things she would ask for that I might talk to her about, I might quibble about, but I really needed the strong-handed guidance, because the fact of the matter is, she was very good at what she did, which was to stay on point, stay on theme. And when you really have a clear idea of what the message is, it becomes much more obvious about what we needed to discard, what we did not need to tell the story, and where we should expand on. I deferred to her quite a bit. This is a woman, by the way, who knew nothing about Star Trek. She was perfect. When she told me that, perfect, you're hired. And she was willing to help me, because I wanted. Sometimes we're too deep into the weeds, and we don't see the forest from the trees. We can't zoom out, and we need help doing that. And I was, more often than not, I would just defer to her because I knew she was right, and I wanted to make sure that I was not going overboard in one direction or another. It's a fine line we're walking here.
What I love about this is this whole thing is it's about fathers and sons. It's about how we feel about it. When our father passes, we suddenly become, there's nobody to get advice from anymore. You can't look up, you can't pick up that phone call. And I can't tell you how many times that, since my own dad passed, that I go, God, I go for the phone and I go, oh, I can't call him. I can't get this. It's a very difficult thing to suffer with, especially when somebody's larger than life. And, what people probably think of your dad, and you're going, no, you didn't know my dad. My dad was like this. And, he's got this legacy, and you have your own legacy of how you feel. What do you miss most about him not being there? I miss my dad's advice he would give me. But what do you miss most?
I would say the same, actually. I love conferring with him and processing stuff with him, particularly about my career, and sharing stories with him. He was easily entertained, my dad. And the fact of the matter is, the weird thing is, Jeff, I hear him all the time. I mean, his voice is so distinctive, it's so kind of like, it's everywhere. I mean, I watch Star Trek. I hear him. I hear him in my head all the time, telling me what to do. I mean, I know intuitively what he would say, and I miss hearing it from him. Face to face, definitely. But the gratitude I have is that he's still very much with me. I mean, I still hear him in my head, and people talk about him, and Spock is everywhere, and Star Trek crops up all the time. I was just watching yesterday this fabulous documentary on Ed Sullivan, and there's a little blurb about Star Trek and Mr. Spock in an Ed Sullivan documentary. I mean, they weren't even on the same network. Sullivan was CBS and Star Trek was on NBC. It's just, and I met somebody last night for the first time, and I was introduced as Adam Nimoy. Oh, are you related? It's. You know what? I mean, that's where my story is a little more unique than most people's, is that my dad is very much alive. His spirit is very much alive. Spock and Leonard still very much resonate with people everywhere, and I'm really grateful for that.
I was reading up on you a little bit, and I was reading about how your recovery and your ex-wife actually instigated your improving your relationship with your father. And going back and saying, listen, maybe I need to have forgiveness. Maybe I need to have understanding. And when I read that, I automatically thought about Notting Hill, where he's talking about, I can't get back with you because you're everywhere. If something goes wrong again, I don't think I'd survive it. And I can't imagine not having a relationship with somebody that was so important. And everywhere I look, I'm reminded of him.
Well, that is the conundrum, the difficulty I had, the challenge that I had is that, and I talk about this in the book, is the fact that sometimes I'd have these horrible knockdown, drag-out fights with my dad, and then I'd go out in the world and there would be Spock everywhere, or I'd go to get my laundry and the guy would see my last name and start waxing eloquently about how Leonard Nimoy and Spock changed his life, and you must be so lucky that he's your dad, and what a great guy, and blah, 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 blah. Can I just have my shirts, please? I just came from his house. And it was not pretty. But give me a freaking break. I had a lot of that to deal with, and there was a time when I was like, I don't want to see any more images of Spock. But, that's just a part of my story, my journey. I acknowledge it. I'm grateful for it because everything turned around. And now when I see Spock, I just feel warm and fuzzy inside, So, yeah, that's part of the challenge of having difficulties with a parent who is so visual, so out there, so obvious. That is the weird part of being the son of Leonard Nimoy and having that experience. But it's all turned around, and now it's a great experience, and I'm still enjoying it.
Now you've come past a lot of these issues. You've burned past them. You're doing what you need to do. there are people out there who are suffering. They don't have a relationship with their dad. They can't forgive him. They can't do these things. What would be the best piece of advice you give to somebody, to give a child who's trying to get over issues they have with their parents? What do you think the most important thing you could tell them?
Well, I tell people all the time they should just get into recovery. 12-step recovery is just to help people deal with life on life's terms. You don't have to be an alcoholic or an addict to be in recovery. Everybody is recovering from something, whether it's a failed relationship, a failed marriage, the loss of a loved one, a failed career, which happened with me, a physical infirmity that people are trying to recover from. Everybody's got some kind of recovery that they need to be engaged in. You can go to Al-Anon 12-step meetings. You don't have to be sober to get into 12-step recovery. I'm just saying that for me, it worked. The tools of recovery have been very helpful to me to get through my life. This is why I have been practicing these principles every, one step at a time, one day at a time for the past 21 years. I never thought I would be sober for 20 plus years. That was never the part of the plan. But I just find that they're a really great way for me to help me deal with some of these issues and, and just really get stuff out of the way and get over resentments and accept people for who they are. Accepting my dad was a big part of my process. It doesn't mean approval. He did a lot of stuff that I don't approve of. But I accepted him for who he was, and he finally came around and did the same for me. It's just a way of learning how to love and be loved by people. And we don't have time for the other stuff, And in this day and age, frankly, with so much, disparity in the political dialogue and the polarization, I think we need recovery now more than ever. That's just what I'm trying to help people understand. It worked for me. I'm hoping it works for other people.
Now, I have brothers, I have family members who are recovering from their different issues. And, people always ask me, they go, what do you think causes it? And I said, listen, it's DNA, it's experience, it's a lot of things. Now, you've had to go through this recovery and you're still going through until the day you pass. I mean, what do you think the biggest issue you might have had with it, where you're going, I drank because of this, or I smoked because of this?
Well, I mean, there's always reasons, everybody's got their own combination of reasons. I mean, I did it for escapism. I smoked for self-medication. When you start smoking pot in West LA as a teenager, you have instant community. You're with cool people and you're with groups of people and sharing common experiences. I mean, I was a deadhead for years and using and drinking and enjoying all of that. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons for doing it. I think the most important part of my recovery was learning how to deal with resentment. And that's what a lot of people have to contend with, is being, angry and irritable and discontent and having conflict with other people. I once heard a guy say in a meeting not that long ago that hell to him was other people, is a personality conflict. When you're drinking and using, you're not developing emotionally and you can't really regulate yourself emotionally. You're not maturing emotionally. And that's what recovery has done for me. It's helping me deal with these issues so that when people piss me off, I can take a moment. I can pause when agitated. I can step back and not react to all this stuff. It just creates a terrible cycle of dysfunction. And that's where, it's really been helpful to me in terms of dealing with learning how to grow up. Because, again, I was drinking and using for so many years that I really wasn't learning how to, interpersonal relationship tools and techniques. I didn't have any of those.
There's a lot to take in when you hear something like that. It's just a lot of information that you're going, well, God, trying to analyze that or trying to figure out what you do with that. And I guess it all comes back to, what we're doing here. We have a book. We're putting this out. As somebody who writes comic books, who's been into sci-fi his whole life and everything else like that, what I don't know about your dad would fill the Grand Canyon. What do you think if a regular fan says to you, hey, I know this, what would surprise me most about your dad?
That's a tough one. I think, the thing that when I talk about this book, I talk about the fact that my dad was a true Renaissance man and a true artist. This is a guy who could do anything. This is a guy who was an actor, writer, producer, director, photographer. This is a guy who had, a real social engagement, social causes, political causes, humanitarian, causes. He inspired a lot of people. My dad could do anything. He could build any piece of furniture. He was a carpenter. He could do anything. On the subject of parenting, challenged. The man was challenged. And that's what most people are surprised to find out. And that's where I come in. That is a big part of my story, is what do I do with this guy? Because I couldn't figure it out as a kid. And as a teenager, I did not know what to do with my father because, he's all of these things. He's very inspirational. I was always proud of him. And I make that clear in the book. Always. But what do I do with a guy I can't relate to and sometimes doesn't treat me very nicely? What am I supposed to do with this guy? So, this is where recovery came in for me. That was the answer. Most people are a little surprised to find out that Leonard had trouble playing the role of a loving and caring and patient and tolerant parent. This is where my mother comes in. My sister and I were very lucky to have that with my mother. So I think that's the most surprising thing that people learn. But I try to share that experience without judging him, without pointing a finger, without blaming him. I mean, I'm very careful to point out that my dad didn't have great modeling from his parents, number one. And number two, when he came to LA, his priority was not family. He had a family. His priority was supporting that family and pursuing his career. This all changed later on in life. So, I take the edge off of that by saying that, look, I'm not blaming him, but this is what it was like. And it was challenging. It was difficult for me.
Well, Adam, I can't tell you how much I've loved this interview. Your book, The Most Human, is out there already. Everyone can get it on every platform. And I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I've done like hundreds of interviews, but this is probably the only way I've ever ended an interview ever. Adam, live long and prosper. That's all I got to say.
Jeff, as always, live long and prosper.
Take care. Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.